I'm telling you, sir, I have the credit to buy a house. How can you tell me it's 580? Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I have a 580, a 600, and a 457. How can you tell me I have a 585 credit score when I just checked it yesterday and it said 620? I'm sorry, the way that the bureaus calculate credit for a mortgage is just completely different from what you see on Credit Karma. Are you serious right now? Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Saeed. I'm a licensed loan officer, and I'm here today to talk to you about credit. Credit specifically pertaining to purchasing a home. I'm going to talk to you about what a credit score is actually made up of, what credit you actually need to buy a house, things to avoid, and hacks to raise your credit fast. Stay tuned. So to really understand credit, we need to figure out first, what is credit? What makes up your credit score? How do you get a better one? And how do you avoid some of the pitfalls that many borrowers run into when purchasing a home? The first thing I want to talk about is your actual credit score makeup. What makes up a credit score? Your credit score is actually made up of 5 different factors. The first one is going to be your payment history. 35% of your credit score is made up of your payment history, meaning how well have you been paying off your bills once you've had a credit card or you got a car loan or anything that would go on your credit. How well are you paying those bills on time, and how often are you paying these things off? 35% is a huge portion of your credit score. That's why it's extremely important that you pay your bills on time. The next thing is going to be your credit mix. What kind of credit do you actually have? Do you have more installment loans or revolving loans? That's going to make up at least 10% of your credit score. The next thing is your credit age. 15% of your credit score is based on the length of time you've had your credit cards open. So when your mom has opened that credit card when you're 18 and told you to pay off all your bills on time, she's helping you. She's doing you a favor. So make sure when you get your credit cards or any type of credit, you pay your bills on time and you make sure you pay those things off so you can continue building that great credit. So second to last factor is credit inquiries. How many times have lenders or people who are trying to give you money pulled your credit to see what your credit score actually is? Number of inquiries can actually really affect your score. If you have too many in 1 month or over the series of 3 or 6 months, you don't want too many credit inquiries. You want to make sure that you just have the good credit before you go out and buy a car or a house, whatever it may be. Last but not least, 30% is your credit utilization. So 30% of your credit makeup is built up of credit utilization, meaning how much credit from the credit that you have are you using? If you have a $10,000 credit limit, are you using 90% of that $10,000? Are you using 50% of that $10,000? 10, 5% of that $10,000? You want to make sure that your credit utilization is low, because if you have a low credit utilization, that means you are in good standing most of the time with your creditors. So the best thing to do is keep your bills low, making sure that credit utilization is not maxed out month after month. Another thing to know about credit is actually who's giving you the credit score. There's 3 bureaus in the United States: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. They're 3 different companies, and they report based on the information that they're receiving from the creditors. Not all of them are going to have the same information, which is why when you get a mortgage, you're going to see different credit scores between all 3 bureaus. When you're getting a loan, the lender is going to talk about the 3 different scores from those bureaus and tell you that they can only use the middle score. That's just what it is. The mid score is the qualifying score for your mortgage. That's what your interest rate's going to be based on, and that's what we have to go off of to get you approved. The things that you want to avoid when building your credit are going to be your late payments, charge-offs, and disputes. Late payments in the past year can show up on your credit report as blemishes, meaning they're not good. If there is something on your credit report that's just not right, you want to dispute it. If you have disputes on your credit report, that's okay, but anything over $1,000, that's going to be another blemish on your credit report that's going to diminish your scores. So you want to make sure you don't have any disputes over $1,000 to make sure that you get the best chances to get your credit score high, to give you the best possibility for the best rates, the best terms when purchasing a house. Last but not least, charge-offs. Charge-offs are when you go out and you buy something on credit, the creditor is asking for that money because you obviously owe them, but they don't get the money. So when they don't get the money for a certain amount of time, they can just, as a company, charge off that payment that you owe them, and it shows up on your credit report as a charge-off, meaning they never got their money. If you have a large charge-off, that creditor can actually put a judgment against you. And if you go and buy a house and we find that you have a judgment on your credit report, we're gonna ask that you have that paid off, or at least have a payment plan to get rid of that off of your credit. So we've talked about what makes up your credit, things to avoid on your credit, and now we're gonna talk about hacks to raise your credit or actually get credit if you don't have any. So the first thing is just pay your bills off. If you have a bill from a credit card, pay it off on time and don't leave anything outstanding. One hack though that I want to share with you is if you have a credit card and you're utilizing that credit card for monthly bills, groceries, whatever it may be, one hack that I've found is if you pay off your credit card and you leave maybe $10 to $50 on that card balance, you are going to be utilizing a little bit of credit, which the bureaus really like. The bureaus want to see that you're actually utilizing some of your credit, and they're going to reward you based on how much of that credit you're utilizing. So if you utilize credit from a credit card and you have a small balance and you've been paying off your bills on time, you are going to get rewarded in terms of your credit score. It's going to raise. So there's one simple hack that you can leverage today. On that same note, if you have a lot of credit cards and your credit utilization is maxed out, you want to decrease that credit utilization and bring your credit cards down to a lower balance. It's as simple as that. If you speak to a lender, they can actually tell you how low you need to bring that balance down so that you can get the score that you need to purchase a house. Another simple hack that I like to tell my clients, especially when they're buying a house, if they don't have any credit or they need to build credit fast, one of the best ways that you can do so is get yourself on an account as an authorized user. So if you have a brother, you have a mom or dad who's willing to do this for you, you can actually say, hey mom, hey dad, let me get on your account as an authorized user because you have great credit. You've had a credit card for 10 years. Credit bureaus actually like to see the length of history. If I get myself as an authorized user on your account, I can start building my credit, mom and dad, or brother or sister, whoever it may be. You want to see if you can have yourself as an authorized user on an account to build your credit. This is an extremely easy way to get yourself a credit score or build your credit. And guess what? If you're on an authorized user account, you don't even need a credit card from that person that you're on the account with. They can just add you and you can be on there in the background. So I've done this before. It's a great tool and I'd recommend it for anybody looking to build credit fast. So that's credit in a nutshell. If you guys have any other questions or you want more information about a specific topic or area that I spoke about in this video, put them in the comments below and I'll make a new video talking about exactly what you want to hear. Can't wait to see you on the next one. Talk to you later.